All right, welcome. Super happy to have you all today. And today, I want to talk about some beliefs you might have as the executive director of your organization that are keeping your signature event a secret. So, if you're new here, let's talk a little bit first about what a signature event is. It is the golf tournament, it's the Christmas gala, it's the annual holiday gifting program, it's the 5K walk. It's all these exciting events, the luncheons, that really keep donors engaged throughout the years and help them to get excited about what your organization is doing for the community. Now, unfortunately, there might be some events that you think maybe don't need that high level of support, but your signature event is not one of them. And there are three beliefs in particular that lead you to believe this. So let's break down some of these simple beliefs. Before we do that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Gabby Payne, and I'm a brand strategist. And I am helping nonprofits to market their signature events so that they can increase donor giving and retention through content marketing. And we'll talk a little bit about exactly how that works a little later on, but I want to make sure you get the juicy stuff up front, right? So, the first belief that I hear a lot of times is hey, we have a program manager and they're going to help us with this event. Or maybe even, hey, we have a case manager and they're going to help us with this event. The reality is that the undertaking of a large signature event a lot of times means that you need additional hands on deck for this. The case manager should be managing cases, and maybe they can take on a piece of managing the event. And the program manager should be managing programs. After all, that is what they signed up for. And maybe they can take the logistical piece of the event, but there's still the marketing that has to happen specifically for this event. So then the next question I'm sure you're thinking about is, well, okay, yes, we have a program manager. Your next belief is you have a marketing department. Now, what does that marketing department do on a day to day basis? Would be my question for you. Or maybe you consider your donations or your fundraising department to be your marketing department, and that is an absolute no no. They need to be focused on continuing their fundraising efforts throughout the year. And yes, the nonprofit signature event is a big part of that, but it's not the whole kit and caboodle. That means they need to continue to reach out to those additional donors who may not be engaged in the event, but are regularly engaged in either donating their time, in kind, or monetary gifts. So what I want you to think about is how does that person, how does the person who runs your fundraising department fit into the event, not necessarily how they take it completely over. Once again, you got to think about it. You are at that nonprofit and you know that all of you all are stretched thin to capacity. So if you think that your program manager is going to cut it, they're not going to cut it, right? You already know they have a desk full of to-dos, right? Then you think perhaps my fundraising department can fill this gap. They also have a high stack of to-dos. And the third belief that I think really impacts nonprofits is hey, we don't even have a social media presence to begin with. And we know that a social media presence takes time to build up. So, why would we put our effort in building up our social media when we already have an email marketing campaign that seems to be doing well? Well, the first thing I want to tell you is that female donors are more likely to donate based off of social media campaigns, which means that although you might be sending out these emails, the best way to reach half of your audience, half of the globe, is actually through social media. And so, even if you don't have a social media platform, if you're not active on social media to really reach those donors the way you actually want to, then guess what? you need to start thinking about how you can begin to build that foundation. The other important thing to realize is that when you're working with an agency like mine, a communications agency that's seasoned in not only B2B communications, but also B2C communications, you're going to need to understand exactly how to reach those customers quickly and really start to grow that momentum on social media. We work with you for 4 to 5 months prior to your event actually happening, which gives us plenty of time to build up your social media presence. So instead of neglecting social media or content marketing this year, how about you take the time to really consider it? Because if you don't want your nonprofit signature event to be a secret, then guess what? You need extra hands, right? Your program manager might be able to handle the logistics, and your donations manager might be able to handle the fundraising aspect of the event. But in terms of actually marketing the event, actually capturing the magic of the event, managing the people who actually get the content, like photographers and videographers, making sure they capture the right moments, use the right music for the recap video, and being able to develop an impact report that your sponsors can be proud of, that your sponsors will repost and say, look at this amazing thing we did. You're going to need a team, and that is where my team comes in. Okay, we help you to market your nonprofit signature event by becoming a part of your team. Instead of us coming in to replace your team, we actually help fill the marketing gaps between the program manager, between the fundraising manager, to make sure that your donors know exactly what your event is about, what your organization is about, and get excited about the things that your organization is doing. So, if you know that you've got a nonprofit event coming up in the next 6 months, and that's important to note, guys, because this is not something that happens overnight. Like I said, I typically like to be working with my nonprofit clients for at least 4 months before their actual event date to give us plenty of time to be on brand, to get a good understanding of the program, and to get a good understanding of the demographics that we are targeting within your donor profile. So make sure that if you have that event within the next 6 months, that you are clicking that link that you see down below or up above, depending on what platform we're on. And I cannot wait to talk more about your event, how you're making an impact in your community, and see how we can support your next signature event. So I'm super excited. Remember, guys, we are now booking clients in January. So that means that if your event is between January and June or July, you should be clicking that link right now to book that call. So thanks so much for listening. I really hope this was helpful for you. And I really hope I helped you to see your team a little bit differently, right? Number one, your program manager might be able to manage the logistics, but they don't market. They're a manager, not a marketer. So keep that in mind. Your fundraising manager is a fundraiser, not a marketer. And those are two different things. One person is growing awareness, and the other person is actually helping donors to make the transaction. And so you need that gap. And you also need to always be attracting new donors through exciting marketing on social media. Remember, female donors are more likely to donate from a social media campaign than any other online medium. So, neglecting social media is no longer an option. And don't worry, you don't have to figure it out yourself. That's what my team is here for. So, excited to chat with you, excited to learn more from you. And yeah, I am about to shut it down for the day. It is the end of the day, and I hope that you are about to shut it down too, because it is 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope that you are getting that good work-life balance as well. All right, guys, talk to you later.